Against this right back, Charlie.
Because you always use that active when defenders, I think, it's like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on.
And just as Ian Wright said there, people deluded, I'm back again. Hope last week or the week we're currently still in was great. Hope next week is even better. And I hope everyone listening has enjoyed their weekend. And also on that note, I hope you and your loved ones are in great health. Do me a favor, smash the like button, comment any thoughts throughout this video. Check out the rest of the other vids, follow on all the socials and all of that good stuff. Now, transfer business, people, you know, obviously you'll be pushed to find players, you know, linked with Arsenal that are not Lavia, Rice, Havertz, and Timber, and probably, you know, Caicedo, even though it looks like Chelsea have won that race. There isn't too many other players that have been linked with it, you know, really and truly. So let's see what's said. Allegedly, Mikel Arteta, while I haven't at this moment in time had the time to browse over the full interview, there's a lot of sound pieces coming out. I believe Mikel Arteta has given an interview to Marca where he's spoken about his own future, you know, his ambitions for the future, Arsenal's rebuild, etc., transfer targets. Obviously, the Declan Rice saga keeps rumbling over. It appears we're reaching a conclusion where Kai Havertz is concerned, people, and we've been linked with Lavia again. So let's see exactly what's being said. 99.9% of these rumors are nonsense, but it provides good talking points. Mikel Arteta says Arsenal had lost its soul before he turned them into title contenders, as he reveals why he wants Kai Havertz, hails Bukayo Saka, and admits he's been calling Guardiola. So let's see, people. Apparently he has revealed his pride at having restored Arsenal's identity. Fair enough. You know, I think we've got a long way to go, but in terms of the fans having something to believe in, I think you've done that. I think we're all singing from the same hymn sheet. The Emirates is a dramatically better place to be in than it has been in recent years. And obviously, you look at Granit Xhaka. I was at the Crystal Palace game where he threw his shirt. We've come a long way, really and truly. And there's so many things to praise about Mikel Arteta. There's definitely a lot of question marks, but there's so many things to praise about him on a technical and tactical front. What I would say, if I had to whittle it down, is his conviction. For me, he owns his mistakes and he's not afraid to make difficult decisions. You know, the whole world wanted Xhaka out of Arsenal Football Club. He didn't. And while Xhaka might be going to Leverkusen, he stood firm. Not too many fans wanted Martin Odegaard permanently. We saw what happened. We've obviously gone through the Aubameyang saga, the Mesut Ozil saga, forcing it, but Torreira. There's been conviction in everything he's done, really. You know, the words have backed up. And I just hope those above him help him out in terms of bringing the Declan Rices, etc., to the club. As I said, we've achieved nothing yet. You know, we had a good season last year by our own standards, but in 10 years, unless last season was the foundation on us going to aspire and win trophies, we've achieved nothing. But, you know, the club is a lot more healthier, and Arsenal has been really toxic of recent years, people. So big up Arteta for that one there, people. Apparently, the Spaniard has been credited with turning around the Gunners' fortunes with a second place finish, seeing the club return to the Champions League. As you know, he's been given an interview. Let's see specifically what he has said. He said, "I was Pep's assistant at Man City. We were playing Arsenal, and I saw that the soul of the club had been lost. There was no enjoyment, no feeling. I know there was an option of soon being in the other dugout. I knew we had to connect the team and the fans. It was very clear to me. I drew a tree and its roots, and I said that the problem was ours. We had to cure all of that and to cure it with people who were involved. Without that, there will be no fun for the fans. Now I feel happy. We have a clear identity. There is unity and we're full of energy." And I don't think anyone that's watched Arsenal can disagree with what Arteta has said there. That's the greatest thing from top to bottom. Everyone is pushing in the same direction. We give the fans something to dream about and be proud of. And now we have to win more. Facts, Gaffer. What more can we say? Going on, apparently he said Kai has already shown a lot, including winning the Champions League. He's a talented, versatile player and only 24 years of age. Now, Mikel Arteta is very sly. You know, when he's asked about certain players, he says, I can't talk about players that are not at the club. Technically, Kai Havertz isn't at the club, but also technically he is. We've seen that we've allegedly tied up a £65 million deal going all the way to 70-odd million. I'm sure you've all seen on Twitter, you know, Arsenal fans have been able to find our head doctor, Gary O'Driscoll, heading out to Spain, where allegedly Kai Havertz is having his medical and is on holiday. So he's been really specific. And I want to see a Champions League winner playing for Arsenal. I want to see the versatility. I want to see the experience, having played for Germany, been at Chelsea, 24 years of age, because this is another one where Arteta, where I'm prepared to give Kai Havertz a chance, but wherever he plays, he's got to hit the ground running, really, because what is his best position? And what does he excel at? He can do a bit of everything, but what does he excel at? I'm happy to have him, but Gaffer, show me something. Talent has a price, and at Arsenal, we are always interested in young players with experience. Let's get a couple more in. Again, I'm not talking about players from other clubs, but in the case of Kai, he has already shown a lot, including the Champions League. He is a talented, versatile player, and he's only 24 years old. And obviously, he would tie in with Jesus, Martinelli, Saka, Odegaard, Ramsdale, Benjamin White will be here all day, really. The bulk of the squad, essentially. He's held up Saka. He said Saka is very good and very consistent. His performance and numbers at 21 are crazy. He's very hungry. He wants to improve, and he has an ideal environment to do it. If I had to pick one thing, it would be his ability to win games, and not many have that. He's got the star boy stuff about him. He then spoke on Pep Guardiola. He said, our relationship is very good. 3 days ago, I spoke to Pep, who's on holiday in Egypt. But we are both focused on winning and are very competitive. When we are in the ring, we are very focused. But we are confident enough for that to happen. And the next day to call each other and give him a hug, that's never going to go away. Tell him to bring us Julian Alvarez. He ain't that good. You know, let us have him, really. Tell him to bring us a couple players, man. We could do with a couple of the City boys. Apparently, Mikel Arteta spoke on Rice. He said, I can't talk about players who aren't at the club. I prefer not to say anything. So if we read between the lines, Kai Havertz, to us, you know, in the footballing world with Arsenal, it might be rubber stamped and all we need is official confirmation. Declan Rice, we hear we're going to be the third time and all of this, but it's not confirmed. So why has he spoken, not at lengths, but at lengths with Kai Havertz? And he said with the Declan Rice, like, oh, sorry, I can't talk about players that are not our club. That probably tells you that we're not as close to bringing Declan Rice to the club as we are with Kai Havertz, which we probably already knew. Let me know your thoughts and smash the like button. Allegedly, Arsenal are preparing a third offer for Declan Rice, which is understood to meet West Ham's valuation. Arsenal's financial department are understood to have been working hard to resolve the second offer presented to satisfy West Ham's demands. That was a follow-up tweet in which AFC staff said, Man City, this is obviously from an article in the Mirror, which we're going to look at. Man City are aware that London-born Rice has been expecting to move to Arsenal and will not make a bid for the player if it remains steadfast in his desire. West Ham are confident that a bid of 100 million is on its way from at least one of the interested parties. So they've got what they've needed. Man City ready to break the bank, essentially, for Declan Rice. As it says, they're ready to hijack Arsenal's transfer with that. But they want assurances that he wants to join them. Now, if Arsenal can't get a fee agreed with West Ham and City have a free run at him, then obviously he'd want to join them. You know, for me, I think it's 50-50. I think if Arteta's gassed you enough and told you collectively and individually how you can tie into the team and the skill set and the London, staying in London's an added carrot, obviously Manchester City will be here all day. You're winning trophies. Pep Guardiola can improve you as a player. You're around, you know, the biggest and baddest in the league, you know. Definitely would like you to pick Arsenal. Couldn't begrudge you if you was to go and pick the best team in the Premier League at this moment in time and the best team in Europe, having won the Champions League, people. But it's true, if the player I don't think it's not that Declan Rice doesn't want to join them, but just to humor this example, Arsenal are quote unquote his first choice. And if Man City are feeling some sort of way, as they've shown, they'll step away from deals. They've done it with Alexis Sanchez, Jorginho, Harry Maguire, and plenty of others, Harry Kane, if they, not necessarily because of the same reasons, but if they don't feel it's tangible, people. According to the Mirror, West Ham are confident once again they'll receive at least the 100 million valuation, or better yet, bid from one club or another. We've already had 2 bids rejected. City are determined to land Declan Rice, who they've more or less tied up Kovacic. They're going after that, I can't say his name, but Gavardal, the Croatian centre-back, willing to put 90 million. So how far is Declan Rice on their priority list? I don't know. Rice has been gearing for a move to the Emirates for months and is said to prefer a move there. We all know Bayern Munich were linked with him as well, people. And again, Arsenal's financial department are working hard on how to restructure the deal in order to best appease the Hammers' demands, people. So we'll have to see exactly what's going on there. Again, I've mentioned Gavdal, they've identified him. But that's all Man City, respectfully to City fans. Selfishly, this is an Arsenal video. In Arsenal's case, the deal for Kai Havertz appears to be close, while they have a clear shot at landing Ajax star Jeren Timber in part of what could be a record-breaking 200 million spree for the Gunners. So we'll have to see how this goes. City, once again, are to make the offer, but they want assurances that he wants to join them before launching such, people. Arsenal are preparing a third offer, which is understood to meet West Ham's valuation plus add-ons. So we'll have to see exactly what's going down. Until people are holding shirts and presented as an official Arsenal player, anything can happen, really and truly, people. So we'll be repeating the same things. Apparently, Lavia is open to joining Arsenal. The Independent has been speaking about this. And Ryan Taylor, who writes for them, has said, I know they've been discussing personal terms with his agent and Lavia, who would be 100% open to joining Arsenal. And it does look like there's concrete interest. But at this moment in time, the price tag will have to drop. I think the issue Southampton has is that their valuation has been clouded by the fact Chelsea offered 50 million last August and City have that 40 million buyback clause that becomes active in 2024 and probably have a sell-on clause if he is to depart after one season at Southampton. So we'll have to monitor that closely. Lazio allegedly are trying to sign Torreira. Now, that's not got no relevance to Arsenal, but where we're trying to utilize every penny that goes in and out of this club, obviously, it appears Austrian Trusty could go. Balogun might go. Eddie Nketiah might go. Pepe, Cedric, Lokonga, Tavares, they might need to leave. We've seen a couple of young players go for nominal fees already. Pablo Mari's brought in 6 million. We've got 2 million quid because Fulham have stayed in the Premier League due to the Leno deal. Surely we have a sell-on clause in the Galatasaray contract that Lucas Torreira has having left us. So maybe we'll be due something after obviously doing quite well at Galatasaray. That's the only reason I've got it there. Arteta has spoken on our budget, and apparently Fabrizio Romano is quoted him as saying, we already made a refresh of the squad. We're now together with the owners to build a winning team that could be sustainable for long term. We need important players and we'll attack the market to sign those who we need. Come on, Gaffer. I know you got a mad thing lined up. Romano has also said, people, on Kai Havertz, I cannot understate this. Arteta has been really, really important in Arsenal's deal to sign Kai Havertz. The German is set to be unveiled as a new player sometime next week, and Arteta is delighted this is going to happen. The Spaniard did everything he could to convince Havertz that a move to Arsenal was best for him, and the player agreed. Havertz believes that playing for Arteta and Arsenal was the best project, not just in England, but throughout the whole of Europe. Havertz thinks Arteta's style, ideas, and plans will only help him to make him a better player, and I think a lot of us fans do as well. Also, interestingly, a lot of Arsenal players have been messaging Havertz. Their off-field connection already looks really, really good. This is a really exciting time for Arsenal and their fans. I really hope so. And again, we've seen that already. We'll be repeating the same thing. Arsenal players were doing their job. Romano has also said Timber believes Arsenal have the perfect project for his future. Manager and club's plans immediately convinced the player. Arteta's having a big influence, as he did with Havertz. Second bid expected soon. More than the 40 million to advance in talks with Ajax. So hopefully there's some progress there. Sky Germany have said he's on the verge of joining Arsenal. Bayern Munich have moved away. There's an agreement is expected to be between 40 to 45 million euros plus bonus payments, which would be a good deal for all parties. And at 22 years of age, hopefully he could do well. Allegedly, people, I don't know if this is real, but apparently Lauren, based on social media, was his idol, Timber. So hopefully he's always been a gunner. Arteta hasn't said no to leaving Arsenal in the future. He said, I can only say that I'm very happy at Arsenal. I feel loved, valued by our owners, Stan and Josh Kroenke, and I have a lot to do here at Arsenal. I'm happy and tremendously grateful to be at Arsenal. We've already seen this in relation to Havertz, so I won't bore you. We've already seen this in relation to Timber once again with Havertz, so it's just all that propaganda. We've seen this already. Sorry for all the tabs. I just make sure we don't miss a beat. Finally, allegedly, Arsenal have slapped a £35 million price tag on Balogun, people, and apparently Premier League rivals are keen. You've heard apparently 3 clubs are interested in Eddie Nketiah and also with Balogun as well, drawing interest from a number of clubs, if not more. So I don't know. I don't think Arsenal should sell both, but it's something to ponder as we look to rebuild and have to probably get some players gone. Arsenal have slapped a 35 million asking price on Balogun to spike the guns of Leipzig. The Germans were thought to be keen on recruiting the former England under-21 international, now full American international, allegedly, people. Crystal Palace have also been linked with him, and they've also been linked with Eddie Nketiah. AC Milan, Inter Milan, Napoli, and Juventus have all been linked with him. Whether that's tangible interest, I don't know, people. We'll have to see exactly what's going on. We do know Balogun has said no to potentially leaving on a loan deal. It's either use me or let me go. Having seen Kai Havertz come into the club, who can play a bunch of positions, much less as a false 9, having signed Jesus last summer, having seen Eddie Nketiah given a new deal, having signed Trossard in January, who primarily is and has played on the flanks, can play through the middle, and obviously you've got Martinelli. I don't know what Balogun's on there because minutes are currency, and I'm sure there's a Copa. I could be wrong, don't quote me, but I'm sure there's a Copa America in which America, the USA or USMT, are participating in the summer. I'm sure he wants to be a part of that, really. So we'll have to see. But let me know your thoughts on everything we've discussed on Kai Havertz, on Declan Rice, on Lavia, on Balogun potentially leaving, on Timber, etc., etc. Again, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like button. Open up another tab and check out my other videos, much less the YouTube playlist. Have a great weekend in what's left of it. Safe, people.
So it's just always just that active red flag. Defenders, I think, like.